Hi everybody, it's Jo here, and I hope that wherever you are that you're safe and well and hopefully enjoying the summer holidays. There's one thing that I'd like to talk about today, and to give you some steps for you to try and understand it, as well as for you to try and implement to help better your own life from it. And that is uncertainty. It affects each and every one of us. However, some of us can tolerate it more than others. Some of us can take it in our stride and just take it as it comes. But for some of us, it can feel as if it's eating us up or make us feel anxious in other ways. But one thing that is for certain is that uncertainty or fear of the unknown, or that lack of control, has always been present in our lives, daily even. And that would be even before the coronavirus. And that might be from leaving your front door, crossing the road, handing a piece of work that you're not too sure what the outcome will be. So it's not something that we've never experienced before. The only thing is, obviously, with regards to the coronavirus, is the uncertainty is on such a large, huge global scale, and there is so much that we don't know about. And whether that's, will there be a second spike? Will there be restrictions lifted, or will there be added restrictions? When is it going to leave us? When is it going to go? Are we going to be going back to school in September? And as you can understand, it's so big and can trouble us so much with how we deal with current day-to-day life. So, as humans, we love certainty. We love our comfort zone. We love that feeling of safe and secure. And obviously, as you can understand, that with not knowing about the future or what's going to happen next, creates these thoughts of us, within us, about what if this, what if that. And that's really hard for us to sometimes get our head around, because what's actually happening is, and I've done it in a previous video, our amygdala, our cheeky chimp, is just going off on one. So let's kind of find some techniques that you can try and introduce into your life for you to help yourself. And one of those is talking about how you're feeling. It is so important that you acknowledge how you're feeling. And whether you do that with a friend, a family member, Shout UK, Couth, Childline, Samaritans, I don't care who you do it with, as long as if you get a chance to do it. Because the more you hold it back sometimes, the harder it is. And it's not weak to speak. It's really not. And I know I've said in previous videos how it's okay not to be okay every day. We're going to have down days. It's understandable. But it is not okay if you're not prepared to talk about it. So it is allowing yourself to speak to somebody about how you're feeling, to acknowledge that you're hurting, that you're scared, you're sad, or even to allow yourself to cry. And to maybe try and sense, where are you holding your tension? And to just acknowledge it, just to give it some airtime for you to just sit and figure out how you're feeling. And I always get my school kids to imagine clouds, and to imagine those clouds how, and you can even watch the clouds roll in and roll out, is just making sure that you're aware, making you realise that your thoughts will roll in. And sometimes, like clouds, it might get, with other clouds, it might become thicker, more grey, might start raining, hail, thunderstorm. But to know that it will ease and it will pass. And it's just realising that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And by you thinking about what if, is again you just creating those pictures in your mind. My other one would just limit your news intake, make sure it's a reliable source, but actually be aware of the conversations that you're listening to, because sometimes everybody, wherever you go, you hear about it. I was at the hairdresser's last week and you could hear other people talking about it. So it's just being mindful of the conversations that you're around, and to maybe introduce watching and listening to good news in life. There's a fantastic website called Upworthy. I totally recommend them, and it's just about the positivity of humans being kind to one another, and how important and how it can help us in such different ways. Another one would be to look after one another, to look after your friends, but to allow your friends to look after you, and to realise that even though you're facing this uncertainty, that there's a lot of us facing it as well, and to take comfort that you're not the only person. Because I think sometimes that's the most important thing, is to realise that you're not on your own. And I think sometimes it can just feel it, and it can feel daunting. So we're in it together. Another one that I do like is that whilst we have this uncertainty, is to take control of what you can do. And that could be the simplest thing of making your bed, socialising with your friends, making contact with your family, doing your chores. Just do what you know you can do and is within your control. And for some people, stick with me here because you might laugh at this, but for some people, it's tidying. It's trying to get their life in order as much as they can do with the surroundings that they're in. And my final one that I absolutely adore is imagining, and whether it's when you place your feet on the floor first thing in the morning or when you walk out of the front door, it's to imagine that you're in a bubble, a protective bubble. You can imagine what colour it is if you want, but just to imagine that this is your safe space, that this is a protective, you are safe within this space of your bubble, and to realise that you can keep yourself safe. It's also like armour. I get some of my kids to imagine that they wear armour, and that no matter what comes at them, to realise that they're strong, they've got courage, they've got strength, they've got resilience to face each day. And I'm not too sure if you've realised this or not, but the sky hasn't fallen down. We're still here, and no matter what's going to come next, we're in it together, and we will get through this. I'm not too sure when, I'm not too sure how, but we will get through this. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I look forward to doing a video next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.